Wish I could be a little bit more excited on this beginning of the live stream, but right before I went live, we learned of a mass shooting, which is just another Monday, right? Just another Monday in America. So let me tell you what I know about the shooting that's going on right now. There is an active shooter. There is an active shooter in Chicago. Authorities are reporting multiple victims in an active shooter attack in the area of Mercy Hospital on the near south side that brought out a large police presence Monday afternoon. Emergency crews were called to near the hospital at 2525 South Michigan Avenue about 3:20 p.m. Central Time. There were reports of multiple victims in the attack. Police spokesman Anthony Guglielmi said. Fire officials called an emergency medical services plan, sending at least 10 ambulances to the scene because of an active shooter situation, a fire department spokesman said. Authorities were warning people to stay out of the area. This was written a little while ago. Since then, CNN's reporting that a police officer was shot and is in critical condition. We don't know. I don't know any more details than that. I do know that this is near Mercy Hospital in Chicago. I don't know if there's one shooter. I don't know if there's multiple shooters. I don't know how many people have been shot, if there's any fatalities. We don't know anything, really. So I will try my best while I'm live to update you. Jen is going to be feeding me stuff while I'm live. Thank you, Alex. $2 in the super chat. It's kind of awkward. I don't want to be pushing the super chat while people are being shot at right now. But thank you, Alex, for getting us started. This is a super chat, and I'm happy. Although I'm sad that we have another shooting going on. I'm happy to report that yesterday. Every Sunday we're doing marathon super chats / GoFundMe. So yesterday we were live for I think 6 hours yesterday, starting at noon Eastern, and we raised $1,000. We raised $1,000 via super chat and GoFundMe. So the combination of both, we raised $1,000, which we got to raise money for this company. So thank you to everyone contributing. I'll push the GoFundMe a little bit more later. I want to obviously focus on the mass shooting going on right now. So, it's difficult for me, and I'm sure it's difficult for Jen, and it would be difficult for Ty if he was here, because I'm normally not at a loss for words on most stories. Even though I'm covering the same thing repetitively every day. Democratic Party corruption, the oligarchy. There's different stories, but it's generally the same thing. This country is corrupt. This country is a rigged oligarchy. But there's different versions of stories every day, so there is some variety. As far as mass shootings, I'm kind of out of words, to tell you the truth. I mean, I could fly off the handle and rant. I've done it before, but kind of out of words. I think we live in a really, really scary moment. Not just because of the guns that are going off, and like I said, I don't know more than I've told you. So Jen will keep me informed. As of now, it just says multiple victims in shooting at Chicago's Mercy Hospital, which is on the south side. I don't know how many shooters. I do know a police officer was shot and is in critical condition. So I'll update you as we go. But we're having all these debates and all these conversations right now, right? Who should be Speaker of the House? Who should be Speaker of the House for the Democrats? Should the Democrats be centrist or progressive ahead of 2020? What do we do to fight Trump and his authoritarianism and his, tax cuts for the rich and his racism and his bigotry? What do we do to safeguard water in this country, which Jen and I have covered at length? As a little programming announcement, I will be recording an interview right after this live stream. I'll be recording an interview with friend of Status Quo, Jimmy Dore. So I'll be going on Jimmy Dore's show to talk about some of Jen and my latest reporting on the Flint water crisis. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't think it's going to air today, but I'm recording that. So there's so many things going on, and there's so many problems, and there's so much corruption. But at the root of everything, none of it really matters if we're not safe. None of this matters. None of my journalism matters. None of political activism matters. If in America you could walk out the door, and get killed wherever you go during your day. So I'll just take you through my day. I mean, I had a hard time sleeping last night. I woke up early. I went to the supermarket to get a few things. There could have been a mass shooting where I was at the supermarket this morning. I then went to have lunch with a friend. I took the subway. Could have been a shooting on the subway. I then took the subway back. I went to Dunkin' Donuts to get coffee. Could have been a shooting there. There's I'm not trying to be a downer, but there's really it's a sickness in this country. And of course, underneath it all is the corruption of our politics, and the corruption of our elected officials. As far as the guns, it's 99% the Republicans. But there's been Democrats who have contributed to this problem as well. But none of this matters. Online media, independent media, political activism. If the people doing it, we're all walking targets in this country. We're all walking targets in this country. Whether you go to a grocery store, whether you go to the mall, whether you go to a movie theater, whether you go to school, it's every single week, sometimes multiple times a week. If you were paying attention on this channel, Ty reported on the ground from the California shooting recently. I think it was a week and a half ago, where, Jen, get me the number. I think it was 12 people that got killed at a bar on college night. He reported 12 days. There was 12 mass shootings in the 12 days. From the synagogue shooting to the California bar shooting. I mean, there is no other way to put it. And Jake Tapper on CNN's not going to put it this way. And Wolf Blitzer on CNN right now is giving a play-by-play, because they always do this during mass shootings. It's always about the play-by-play. Who's the shooter? What happened in real time? It doesn't fucking matter anymore. We don't need the play-by-play. It's the same record, just spinning on a different day. We know what the problem is, but our media will not actually go after the very politicians taking the blood money from the NRA. And you know what? Full stop. At 5:17 p.m. Eastern time, I have no idea who the shooter is. I don't know if he used an AR-15. I don't know if he used a different thing. But the bottom line is, 9 out of 10 times during these shootings, they're using assault weapons that people in the military have said should not be in the hands of citizens. I've already told you what I think. I think mental health is a red herring when it comes to this debate. Should we have more resources to mental health? 100%. Should mental health and physical health be looked at as the same as far as healthcare? 100%. But it's not people's brains causing these massacres. It's the guns. You have mentally ill people, they can't kill as many people if they go in stabbing people. They will be stopped. You're never going to eradicate mental illness in this country or any country, because that's just part of human nature. Some people are born with predispositions to depression, anxiety, other things. Some people are not born that way, but through circumstances and nature first nurture, they snap. So, for example, I've got depression. I'm not ashamed to say it. I take medication every day. I've been hospitalized for depression. I've never gotten to the point where I wanted to hurt anyone. But you know what? Most people don't get to that point until they get to that point. Most people snap. Most people have mental illness, whether it's anxiety, depression, paranoia, whatever the case is. But there's one common denominator. These murders are happening at the barrel of a gun, not So, the NRA and the Republicans and some Democrats like to say it's the person who kills, not the gun. It's both. But as far as I could tell, there's no way to eradicate all mentally ill people. And by the way, not every one of these shooters is classically mentally ill. Some of them don't have mental illness. Some of them are just crazy racists. Remember the South Carolina church shooting? He was just a Republican watching Fox News and listening to Rush Limbaugh. He might have had mental illness, but a lot of this is right-wing white nut jobs. No other country on earth, every other country on earth has mentally ill people. No other country on earth has mass shootings on a weekly basis. And you want to know something? I'm not trying to fearmonger, folks, for the 194 people watching right now, and press the share button. I'm not trying to fearmonger, but you could die tomorrow in this country. I could die tomorrow in this country. Sure, there's accidents. You could get hit by a car for not looking because you didn't look the right way. You could go skiing and hit a fucking tree and die. But every single person here watching right now, your family members are sitting targets. I hate to tell you, but if you're parents in this live stream, your kids are sitting targets in those schools. So, they say vote like your life depends on it. Well, the election is over. We got an election in 2020, but the election's over. So are we just going to wait till the election to do something, or are we going to do something now?